Hi there, Taurus, and welcome back to Star-Lord's Tarot. This is your tarot forecast for the month of December 2020. Can you believe it? This year is finally coming to a close. So I went ahead, shuffled, laid out the cards for the new format week by week with the overall energy for Taurus. Let's get to your reading. Your overall energy here is the transformation card, Death in the upright position. Well, this is a card that does correspond to the sign of Scorpio, could be important to you this month. The Death card overall is representative of the transformation. The reason, it's associated with Scorpio is because Scorpio is the known as being like the phoenix, where it rises from the ashes of the destruction of the old. So it could be for some of you this month, Taurus, perhaps you're transitioning, transforming something in your life. It could be a work situation for some of you. It could be a relationship. It could be a way of life. Maybe you're just transforming everything in your life now. We're coming into a new year, and perhaps you realize there's certain things in your life that you need to either close out or, they have to change because they just simply cannot stay the way they are indefinitely. So it could be a pretty heavy month for you in that respect, Taurus. Maybe it's a little bit serious. Maybe there's some serious things that you really need to consider this month. You could have some things on your mind of what to do, like I said, and it's going to be different for all of you because it's just a general read. So let's get to your first week. We have the Nine of Wands in the upright position, rooted down with Major Arcana, the Chariot in the upright. Well, the Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior card. Under normal circumstances, the Nine of Wands is where we're ready to, deal with more challenges on a certain subject. Now, this does make sense, I guess, with this transition or transformation being the overall energy, because it looks like you come into the month, Taurus, with maybe a certain thing is a challenge for you. It's like, it could be your job, it could be your family, it could be your friend circle, it could be your relationship. Whatever the situation is, there's like always another challenge with it, right? It could even be your health for some of you. Perhaps you're always fighting the same battle over and over and over again. Well, now you're standing on guard. You're ready to fight another day if you have to. It doesn't mean that you have to, but it could be that you come into the month, Taurus, with this attitude of, here I go again. I might have to deal with this situation again. I'm tired of dealing with this situation again. Hence why maybe this is where it gets you thinking you need to transform something. You need to change it. So here comes the Chariot that's rooting down in the first week. So the Chariot is all about, well, this is Cancer energy, so you could be involved with Cancer, but this is all about forward movement. This is about moving forward, knowing exactly where our goals are, and we've got our eye on the prize. Sometimes in the Chariot energy, we have blinders on because we need to stay focused in on our goal. So the Chariot is about moving very quickly towards that victory, towards success. Some of you could be thinking about traveling or moving away somewhere. Sometimes the Chariot can represent that. It does govern also vehicles. Maybe some of you are purchasing or doing something with a vehicle. It could be looking at taking a road trip for some of you. But it's beautiful. It's like you come into the month thinking, well, I've got to do something about this situation, whether it be like I said, even if it's a health thing. It's like, I'm tired of dealing with this particular problem over and over and over again. I need to find a way to complete this. I need to find a way to either fix the problem or walk away from the problem. Whether, it just depends. It's really hard because it's a general read. So however your situation goes, you may decide to, if it's a works thing, you may decide to walk away from that job, or you may decide to cut your hours back, or you may decide to work more hours because you need more money. Whatever the situation is, like I said, it'll be different for all of you, but something needs to change, and it looks like your focus will be on that. Maybe even coming right into the beginning of the month. And then week 2, we have the Four of Swords here. Or no, the Eight of Swords in the reverse, rooted down by the Four of Wands upright. So The Four of Swords in reverse, this is where we're finally healed from a I keep saying the Four of Swords. It's the Eight of Swords in reverse. This is where we finally feel like we're released from a situation that was very restrictive. Remember how I talked about coming into the month with feeling like you're challenged in some way? Well, this looks like you may find a way because you got the blinders on. Now you're working towards fixing a problem. So this is where you feel like you've been released. This is the Eight of Swords is in the upright is where we feel imprisoned, sometimes by our own thoughts, sometimes by fear, sometimes by other people's words, or just circumstances. But when the card is inverted, this is where we feel a release. We're finally released from that particular thing, I think, that was so challenging for you. And then it's the Four of Wands rooting this down. This is the home card. Could be associated with home and family, could be associated with a marriage or a relationship as well. So perhaps for some of you, you're feeling released because maybe you were at home and now you've been released and you can come out of your home. That's what it kind of looks like in this situation. But which kind of makes sense. But this is the Four of Wands is beautiful energy. It's so wonderful that even reverse, it holds much of the same meaning, but this is in the upright. So Taurus, this is beautiful. Beautiful news. Looks like whatever downside you're having in week 1, there's an upside to it. In week 2, whatever downsides you're having, there's an upside to it. This is a beautiful upside though. The Four of Wands can represent a completion, finally figuring something out. This is where we are finally at that summit, where we've reached the summit, where we know that we've worked really hard to get there. And I've been noticing that about Taurus this year, especially in the last 6 months in the readings. It's like you guys have been working towards a goal. You've been working really, really diligently, very hard, and sticking to your guns. And maybe for some of you, you're right at the finish line here, and you could be seeing some big success pouring in the beginning of the month. It's almost like it's a payoff of all of your hard work. Now, moving on to week 3, we do have the beautiful Three of Wands here with the Two of Swords in the upright position. Well, this is interesting because the Three of Wands is where we're working towards a goal. It's very progressive energy. This could be a different goal that you have, maybe now that you've settled one situation, maybe you're going after another. The Three of Wands is progressive energy. If you're, say, for example, you've been dating somebody this year, maybe you're building on that relationship and you're trying to take it to the next level now, committing to it and so forth, and trying to build it and make it into a better relationship. For others of you, perhaps you're working towards something, but the Two of Swords here is a little bit of indecisive energy. So maybe whatever you're working towards in week 3, maybe this is a goal that you have intended to implement in January in the new year. And maybe you're sort of sitting on the fence about it. You could be a little bit indecisive about something in week 3, because that's where we have to decide whether to go right, to go left. But the reason why we're indecisive usually is because we feel we don't have all the information that we need in order to make this informed decision. So it looks like you could be looking at doing something, maybe for some of you, if you've walked away from a job and now you're looking at getting a different kind of job. This could be where, maybe you're offered something and you have to actually sit back and think about it and decide whether or not it's something you really want to do. And then in week 4, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, rooted down with the Ace of Pentacles upright. So this is nice. It looks like we end off the month with you with a new start with the Ace of Pentacles, but the Seven of Swords in reverse, this is where we're no longer avoiding something. Or it's, if you've been dealing with somebody who's been a little bit unscrupulous, it could be that they get caught, or they come forward and admit what they've done, that kind of thing. So it could be the situation for some of you in week 3, or others of you, this is about no longer avoiding it. Maybe if you're indecisive in week 3, you have to make up your mind and decide what you're going to do, and you decide to just deal with it head on in week 4 and maybe start anew. This could be the representative. Ace of Pentacles can sometimes be representative of a small inheritance maybe coming our way. It could be also representative of new beginnings in financial situations. Maybe some of you have decided to invest a little bit of money that's going to pay big dividends down the road. Others of you could be looking at maybe a new job that is going to pay some money, or it could be a side job or, something like that. But it looks like it will be paying good money down the road. Others of you, maybe you're no longer avoiding moving to a new place, because sometimes the Ace of Pentacles can be about finding a really good house or a really good apartment, someplace to live. Remember, the Pentacles represent the tangible things in life. So very, very nice. It looks like a new start. You're wrapping up something very progressive, and it looks like you're very determined to transform maybe not just one, but maybe even two big situations in your life. So it looks like an interesting month for you, Taurus. I hope the reading helped you. If it did, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.